Hey everybody, this video podcast will not be a video podcast. I was an idiot and forgot the battery, so we're going to have to go back to the way things were before Dark Waters. Sorry about that, but please enjoy our talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Enjoy. Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to Cats with Tin Hats, a podcast where we talk about movies, conspiracies, and conspiracy theories. This week we're talking about the brand new classic, probably the best film to come out of 2019, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're joined here with Oliver,
Wyatt,
and Tucker.
And before we get into any spoilers, general thoughts about the movie, even though I think we've all seen it more than 10 times each.
Napples. Great movie, that's all I'm saying. I'm just here so I don't get fined. You NFL fans should know that reference.
Alright, sick guy over here.
No, it's a good movie,
I think it's pretty much safe for all of us to say that this movie pretty much defined our whole going to school year. We went to film school for a year, and
You did?
as soon as this movie, I'm telling the listeners.
Oh shit, sorry. Get woke.
Yeah. Thoughts. No, this movie, to me, every time I watch it, pretty much takes me back to that year. We watched it, had to be 5 times in theaters. Well, I know you guys watched it. But no, I think this movie's on point. The whole soundtrack is a banger. I love it. I even love the ads. Numero uno.
Yeah, the billboards. Really, any sign need to display.
This whole movie is a fucking work of art as far as I'm concerned. And, Tarantino, if you want to sponsor the podcast, give 3 of us a role or something.
Oh, just the guy who looks like Cliff Booth right now with long hair.
Hey, check out our Instagram page. I'll show you a picture of him right now. Bam. Check out our Instagram, because that's legit that second I took it.
Oh my god, I'm definitely liking it, sharing it on all platforms. Hey, check out our Twitters, too.
But you know what? You guys can do it if you guys want. Don't feel pressured. It's 2021.
Nah, Toots. Hey, listen.
For me, this movie, I don't know how many times I've seen it. For those who don't know,
3, 4.
The Cineplex Park Theatre in Vancouver, just on Canby and between Canby 18th and 19th, they have a 70mm projector. I was lucky enough to be running the projector while showing that. So every other day I was playing that movie twice in its entirety. And it's so good a movie, I never got bored. Because I would just stand there, watch it, and I just love it. And again, big part of VFS for the 1 year we went there. And yeah, so into spoiler territory. If you haven't seen the film, I highly recommend it. Mm-hmm. Can't say enough, especially if you're an actor. Oh, yeah. This is the perfect actor's movie. Without spoilers, if you watch it, you'll get what we're talking about. But I guess just go into it. I think the one thing I want to address right off the top is general consensus of this movie puzzles me. Because there's a lot of people saying there that it's too long for what it is. And to all those people, I say, shut the fuck up. This movie is absolutely perfect, and I don't use that for a lot of movies. The only other movie that comes to mind when I say it's absolutely perfect is Paddington 2. But not a single moment in this film is wasted. Every single line, every single action of this movie is used to build up to the end result. Nothing goes for granted in this movie. Everything is used. It's also safe to say that this movie did win 2 Oscars for Best Achievement in Production Design, going to Barbara Lang and Nancy Haig. And Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, Brad Pitt playing Cliff Booth, also Wyatt Filippelli.
Finger guns.
No big deal.
I think, was it with you watching it the first time that we walked out and we were like, yeah, he should get the best supporting actor?
Yeah.
This movie was also nominated for Best Picture of the Year, lost out to Parasite, which is completely fair.
Yeah,
both
Parasite
outstanding movies.
Didn't he win like 11 Oscars?
Something like that.
He was aggressive.
Yeah. Best Achievement in Directing was also nominated for Tarantino. Leo was also nominated for another Oscar on his record. Best Original Screenplay was nominated. Best Achievement in Cinematography, Costume Design, Sound Mixing, and Sound Editing.
Yeah. I was like, who won that year of Best Actor? Joaquin.
Oh yeah,
my boy Joaquin, and he says Rivers' freaking song lyric in the speech, and it's.
But also, you don't like quote unquote like movies out and based in a superhero kind of world. Joker, go fuck yourself, you fake fan. Just kidding. That was rude of me.
Hey. Maybe I don't like superheroes, but Joaquin Phoenix in any movie, baby, I'm a freaking fan.
You know what? Let's give a clap to Joaquin. Good job, Joaquin.
Actually, Joaquin Phoenix is right here. Whoa! Yeah. Like having this no video thing. Everybody's here. There's 13 people in here right now.
Yeah, we're next door to Joe Rogan right now.
I wonder if that ghost is back.
Sounds like it.
Sorry, but where were we?
I'll just go through the
Oscars.
The Oscars.
And what nuts.
Yeah, so safe to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a classic fairy tale type story set in 1969 Hollywood. Just on the cusp of the end of the Golden Age? Was that Golden Age cinema or was that...
It's right around the turn.
Yeah.
Right, I think 69 for sure was... It started becoming... different. You got like Marlon Brando and James Dean coming in, bringing in a bit more of the method techniques, and then you'll get De Niro's, Nicholson's, Pacino's. Those guys are coming later, but they all study in that method. You're in the character more, but yeah, it's right around the turn. I personally think that the Manson murders are what really changed Hollywood.
Yeah.
It really changed the whole layout of LA. From then on. And
that's what this movie is basically looking at. It's like what it was before then and
how it would have or how it would have changed if things didn't play out the way they did.
Yeah, which would be really interesting to see because it definitely took a darker turn, Hollywood, after that event.
Yeah, they were saying Hollywood had an open door policy until this, and then that's when the gates started coming up and the doors started shutting. I think that's what Margot Robbie said in an interview for the movie.
Yeah,
it's really sad, man, because watching this movie, it's just you can see the innocence in it. At the first beginning, you're in what was it, February?
Yeah,
is where you start out, and you can see the innocence in it, just the world, going on as it did. And then all of a sudden,
living their life.
What was it? 6 months later?
Yeah.
6 months later, everything changed. It's insane.
Yeah, because it didn't just impact Hollywood. After the murder of Sharon Tate, it also affected everybody's home lives too, because it was then getting to the point of, don't trust your neighbor. Mm-hmm. Don't trust your strangers.
Yeah.
Because people are fucked.
It's true. Dude, I can't believe people are saying that the runtime on this movie is jacked. I can't believe that.
Well, I think the main complaint coming from it is that they're just saying certain scenes drag on longer than they do, which they don't. Point that out, they don't, and they tend to pick different scenes, like when they're at the ranch, and saying that's completely unnecessary. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Just building up tension.
It's building up tension. You finally come face to face with the antagonist of this movie.
Ooh, squeaky.
I think the other, because that's one of the big ones coming out, people are saying that Margot Robbie didn't get enough screen time too, which I think I get where they're coming from, but at the same time,
her character, Sharon Tate. Well, we were on this today. She wasn't really that famous of an actress yet. Again, as bad as it sounds, like what you were saying, unfortunately, her biggest claim to fame is being murdered.
Yeah, which is
one of the most famous cult murders in the history of the world. It's unfortunately, it's for all those people saying that, what would you do? Like, you know what I mean? The people who are saying that, did you do the research into Sharon Tate? If you're gonna speak like that, you best know what she did in her life, and what Quentin Tarantino could have done better, and what you would have done to show more of Sharon Tate's life. I'm wondering.
Yeah.
What that would be like. Not to sound like a dick or anything.
Because also, to me, the three key players in this movie, Sharon Tate, Cliff Booth, and Rick Dalton, they represent three different aspects of Hollywood at that time. You've got the up-and-comer, the American dreamer. You've got the guy down on his luck who has hit rock bottom, essentially. And you got the guy just trying to get a day job.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Who the fuck is the guy down his luck?
Rick Dalton.
No. Oh, Rick Dalton. Sorry, yeah.
Fucking...
Wow. Cliff Booth A has a dog. Sick. Has no fucking bedtime. Sick.
Dude's out whenever he wants. He eats macaroni at 10 o'clock, though. He's
macaroni and
this guy has no rules.
Yeah. You know.
He has movies anytime he wants.
He can beat up people, drive throughout traffic as much as he wants.
Smoke ass. Whoa.
Hey, it's the 60s, baby.
That's true. Hey, he smokes ass in all the chat.
And he's still a good guy, because, you know, fucking, what's your nut? Fucking,
and he eats berries.
Sunflower or Snowflake, whatever her name was. The girl he picks up.
Oh.
Daffodil. It was a stupid name.
Pussycat.
Pussycat. I don't remember what I was thinking. You know,
yeah, we all
he was
Pussycat.
He was like, yeah, ID. Because he still knew. I'm not going to prison. Boom. She's all mad because, you know, she's a crazy person. He goes, tries to go find.
Why would you call her crazy? Why?
Maybe it's because, you know, she doesn't shave her armpits, first of all. Two, she, she was Charles Manson, you know,
hey,
with good old Charles. And maybe it was Squeaky and the old guy.
Hey, George isn't the blind one. You're the blind one.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing.
But, sorry, yeah, so that's why Cliff Booth is awesome. Sorry. So what's his character? Then you said, because there's the up-and-comer, which is Margot Robbie. So what's Cliff Booth, you said?
Cliff Booth is just the guy, just a day player. He's just trying to live day by day, getting by.
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah.
You can definitely tell which character is Wyatt's favorite in this movie.
And honestly, I'm not a big Brad Pitt fan. At first, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, he's okay, he's good, but I'm like, it's not my cup of tea. Watch this movie. It's like, dude, I was wrong.
I genuinely liked him too.
Yeah, like I genuinely like his character was awesome. He has a dog named fucking Brandy, and if that fucking song came out earlier, that'd been a dope song to play when Brandy's biting all the bad guys. It's fucking yeah.
You're a fine girl.
Like how dope
what
would that
a
be?
good wife you would be.
Right? How dope would that be?
Sorry.
And also, let's just face it, Brandy is the real star of the show.
Yeah.
The Brandy, you know, Cliff Booth would have had to kill at least one of them.
Yeah. I do have something
Well, he did,
interesting about the music, though, since you brought that up. I was watching an interview with Tarantino, and he says all the music. Let me find my notes here. Yeah, so it was KHJ radio.
Yeah.
Boss.
He got 17 hours of KHJ recordings between 68 and 69.
Right.
And this was just going to different people because, again, they had no archive of what they recorded. Every single song in this film was in the recordings. He didn't want to use anything else. He wanted to make sure it was from the era. So any song he wanted to use that wasn't in that recording, didn't use.
Okay. There's one song we're trying to find today. It was when she's in the theater.
Oh my
It's the
God.
second song. It's the guy wearing. He's like the discount white version of. What is his name? James Brown. James Brown. James Brown.
I don't know.
Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. I think it's James Brown. It sounds right.
I've got a list.
James Brown. It's James Brown. But it's the second song in the.
We've scoured the internet. If you know,
Let us
listeners, please throw it in the comments section. I'm dying to know.
We tried Shazamming it. Wouldn't pop up.
So it's after when
It's after the first. Yeah.
You see what we're saying?
It's...
I think it's a cover.
It might be.
It must be a cover.
But then of what song? But then, like, I wonder who he is.
I found that song earlier today, but it must be a cover. It must be a cover of that.
What's that song called then?
It's called
The song, and then just find an old white guy who just looks.
All right, we'll do that later.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, my bad.
So the main reason why he wanted all the music to come from KHJ is because he wanted to base the entire soundtrack around the era, and he thought the best way to do it, live news, live adverts from that time, and also he didn't want a song unless he could find an intro and outro from KHJ.
Yeah. That sounds. I love the soundtrack to this movie. Talk about just like it just encapsulates everything.
Yeah.
Like driving around, you throw this on and you feel like you're in the movie a little bit. It's unreal. There's not a bad song on it.
No.
Not a bad tune. Even the freaking ads.
So, like with every movie, should we make our way down the plot and talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
So we open with the Bounty Law trailer.
Bounty Law. Bounty Law.
Jake Cahill.
Which also, pretty interesting fact is Quentin Tarantino, when talking to DiCaprio about creating the character and what Bounty Law was like with Rick Dalton and Jake Cahill, he wrote 5 episodes just to like pad out the universe for him. Yeah, just so we had a bit more information on what he was going to.
That's cool.
Yeah, you have all this.
Oh, how cool did they film that? And like put it as like the bonus features in the DVD, and you can watch it 5 episodes. That'd be dope.
I think there was talk of them doing a spin-off.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That'd be good.
Of a Rick Dalton,
like a spin-off where he's
of Bounty Law.
Yeah.
Yo, Leo, I know you're probably not listening to this, but if for whatever reason you stumble across us, you and Quentin need to fucking do it. And if you need a long-haired bandito,
and all the stunts have to be done by Brad Pitt.
I know when they were talking about it and creating the Rick Dalton character, he had written a whole backstory of movies. Rick Dalton's entire career, from start to finish, he had written. And then I know that he was basing a lot of it off of Steve McQueen, so he was doing like the Magnificent Seven, I want to say, or I forget, Magnificent 7 or 6, and then you can smell Rifleman all over the beginning of this movie. It's awesome, and you can see like there's a ton of actors in this movie.
Oh yeah,
it's literally insane. In the first 3 seconds, you have John Kreese from Karate Kid, the bad guy, No Mercy, and then you also have Ajax from the Warriors.
So just doing a quick rundown. I'm not going to go through every name, but we have Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Emily Hirsch, Margaret Qualley, Timothy Olyphant, Julia Butters, Austin Butler, Dakota Fanning, Bruce Dern, Luke Perry, Damian Lewis, Al Pacino.
Wah!
Why is he so far down the list?
Who?
Where's your boy?
Who?
Because it's not in alphabetical order, is it?
No, I don't think so. Because, Leo...
Or
comes after Brad. You idiot.
Funny story.
Who?
Burt Reynolds was actually cast as
George
Kurt Russell.
Spawn?
What are you talking about?
Kurt Russell?
Yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah.
My boy.
I can't find him on there. I'm like scrolling down and down and down, and he's not on here.
My boy, the mullet master.
Watch him be like 4th row. He's past him. If you think 4th row far right, I'm saying.
My boy, the mullet master, Mr. Kurt Russell. What a stud. Anyway, no, did you guys know that Burt Reynolds was originally cast as George Spawn? And
really?
He passed away before filming started, so then Bruce Dern came in to fill in.
Damn.
Yeah. That's why he's credited. I think, yeah. And same with Luke Perry. It's his last movie he ever did.
Right.
He's right there.
I'm on IMDb. I just scroll quite far down.
Is it IMDb's? Like, just their quick little
That's
one?
Google.
No. Should have said Burt Reynolds. That rhymed better. Kidding.
But I think we have to scroll so far down for Kurt Russell yet. Bruce Dern's just like 10th down.
Yo, show some fucking respect
Okay.
to Kurt Russell.
But also, like, Bruce Dern did have some screen time. Then Kurt only had like 6 lines.
He had 2 scenes.
Yeah, it's like 6 lines each.
Bruce Dern had 3 lines.
Yeah, and there were 3 great lines.
Squeaky.
Ooh, squeaky. Go on, guys. And also, he's older. He's an old guy. Let him have it. You're racist.
Says the fucking wife murderer over here.
Hey! Innocent till proven guilty. Just kidding, guys.
Right, so
We'll get rid of polish.
the behind-the-scenes interview with Rick Dalton, Cliff Booth, and then we have the montage of like them going to a bar and
Great scene.
Sharon Tate coming into America with Roman fucking Polanski.
Old Roman Polanski.
Roman fucking Polanski.
And then we have them
Rosemary's Baby.
then drinking their iconic drinks.
Oh, both great drinks, too. Whiskey sours.
And a nice Caesar.
Would be Bloody Mary.
Yeah, it'd be like Mary if it's US, right?
You know, but, you know.
And then
Can't do it.
in through the door,
Pussy.
Al Pacino.
Not that's.
Not that's.
Al Pacino. Juan.
Ooh-ah.
He is a Juan all over this movie.
Ooh-ah and all over. Great guy.
Ooh, what a picture.
Ooh. Was it? It's the 7 fists of
14
14?
Fists of McCluskey.
McCluskey.
That's the first time I really noticed this line. He's like, oh, I had myself a Rick Dalton double feature last night. And Leo turns around and goes, well, I hope it didn't hurt you. I hope it didn't hurt you too bad. And I fucking just started laughing because I was like, it's the first time I heard it. And he's like, oh, I watched Tana.
Yeah.
And then the 14 Fists of McCluskey.
What a
Oh, what a bitch.
Oh my god.
Got myself a cigar. Pour myself cognac. Turned on.
14 Fists of McCluskey.
Oh, what a bitch.
And in this,
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
we get a very classic rule in plays and filmmaking, Chekhov's rule. If you introduce a gun in the first act, you better fire it in the third. And that is with the flamethrower.
Can you turn down? It's kind of hot. It's a flamethrower. Right.
Practice with that dragon for 3 weeks.
3 hours a day, 3 weeks.
You know, not just because I wanted to get used to it.
One
Just
look at
because
what I
I
was doing.
Wanted to look like I was doing it, you know. I wanted to get used to the heat.
Again, I just want to say how not a single piece of information is wasted in this movie. We introduce the flamethrower here. We then introduce that he used it himself. We then get
When Cliff Booth is in the shack.
we get Cliff Booth sent to fix the antenna.
Yeah.
Needs to get the tools from the shed.
Camera pans down.
Does
Does
it even pan down?
Kind of.
Okay.
I get I get enough to get in full picture, I think.
If he doesn't go to the shed to get the stuff, we would never see that he had it there.
Honestly, look
A
at that.
perfect setup.
First time I saw it, I completely missed that it was in the show.
I completely missed that.
I didn't know it was there. I'm like, how are you? Like, what the hell? And then I think it was you told me, oh, it's in the shed. I'm like, what? And then when we saw like the next day, I'm like, oh, there it is.
The unbelievable mastery of filmmaking that is happening in this movie is fucking mind-boggling. It is insane. The amount of... Alfred Hitchcock, as a director, used to believe that you try to show things to the audience without telling them.
Yeah.
So you use your camera. So he used to use like dolly zooms and zooms in on things to show the audience that this is of importance. Tarantino does that, but the one thing that I found today, when Martin Schwartz is talking to Rick Dalton, and he's telling him that he has to go do Italian movies.
Yeah.
This is really the point where Rick Dalton's entire world is changing, where he realizes, hey, I have to battle with myself here.
Yeah.
This is an inner struggle, and this is where it starts. And as he's sitting here listening and thinking about it, and you can see it starting to crumble the inside, the camera just pushes forward a tiny little bit. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it's just that It's totally crazy.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that where it's like, you know, you're seeing really somebody who, and especially somebody who isn't quote unquote technically trained in the field, a guy who freaking worked in a movie store and watched movies and is the biggest cinephile ever. Just like
us.
There's nothing in this movie that you see that doesn't pay off.
And I think also one thing that this movie is exceptional is it is the perfect classic structure. The 3-act structure follows it to a T almost, and if it went more contemporary route by trying to like merge all of it, it wouldn't work because you got a clear beginning, middle, end. You got day 1, day 2, the night.
Yeah.
And all of it follows it. You got the inciting moment, then you have the rising tension in Act 2, and then you have the conclusion of Act 3, and it all builds perfectly, follows the streamline perfectly.
It's cool. Like I guess he wrote this over 5 years as a novel before he even thought about making it into a movie.
I'd like to read that,
honestly. But I know, like, the whole Act 2 takes place in one full day. We were saying that today. You were saying, like, it's one day.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. It almost feels like a Linklater film where it's like it's like one day as it goes. It's like Dazed and Confused or something. And it's just going through and you're with these people and their lives. Of what today is.
Yeah.
Because then after we get the 14 Fists of McCluskey. Again, we are introduced to Rick Dalton's inner struggle. And then right after that, we are introduced to the antagonist of the movie. And that is the Manson girls singing along, walking in the street.
Singing his song too?
Yeah.
His actual song.
Which might seem like in passing, because I think when I first watched it, I didn't think much of it, but rewatching it, I'm like, perfect setup. Struggle, antagonist, right next to each other, side by side, and then from there, it just propels the movie forward.
Honestly, like, the crazy thing about that is it's freaky because it is one of his songs. And it's freaky, and that's just another thing that's like, this guy did his homework. He knows exactly. He knows a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
And funny story though, I got me and him were talking about it. Meatloaf, the singer, and he moved out to L.A. from New York in like '68, and he found this hitchhiker on the side of the road, and he's like, "Oh man, come on, hop in." He's like, "Oh, you want to meet a Beach Boy?" Meatloaf's like, "Fucking right, I want to meet a Beach Boy." So he drove this hitchhiker up to like the Beach Boys mansion, the drummer. And he's like, "Oh man, he says you can't come in." He's like, "Oh yeah, whatever, that cool, thanks." And he's like, "Yeah, call me Rabbit." So anyway, they go inside. Something about Rabbit I remember, but go inside and, it's about a year later and Meatloaf's in a bar and he's having a drink and the fucking Manson murders are on TV. He fucking gave a ride to Charles Manson up to the beach house. Like up to the house. Up to the house where the
Beach Boys drummer lived.
Yeah.
That wasn't Sharon Tate's house.
No, that was Terry Melcher's house before. They were renting it from Terry Melcher at the time. Wow. But the Beach Boys, like, Manson wanted to be a rock star so fucking bad, but nobody gave him the time of day. And then I guess the drummer stole one of his songs and that fucking just set Manson off the handle. But, like, talk about fucking, like, escaping something that could have went bad.
Yeah.
But
yeah, honestly.
It's pretty fucking insane, man. One of the women, women women of Manson, but in the family, one of the girls, it's Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith. Yeah. But
I bet Kevin Smith was jacked about that.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet he absolutely lost his mind.
I fucking love Kevin Smith
Yeah.
so much. He's such a beaut.
It's a great dude.
But the small talk in this movie is, this is when, like, after that they're driving back and he's talking about how he doesn't want to be in these westerns that are in Italy, and like Cliff Booth is saying, like, dude, I really don't, this doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like the small talk in this movie, like just like little characterizations in lines is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally get him dropping off Rick. Sharon Tate Polanski pull up. Rick Dalton cheers up again. And then we have the, I'd say, best transition of worlds. Because we see Cliff go, alright, see you tomorrow. Walks out and we see his car for the first time. And it's this beaten down piece of crap car.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes in and we follow him drive out of Hollywood down to Panorama City. And we just see his home life. And it's just the contrast of when you make it, when you're supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Which also goes to the most, well, I think is the most important scene of this whole film is when he's feeding his dog.
Yeah, I'm right.
That is the most important scene of this whole movie, because if that scene isn't there, everything else leading up to the conflict at the end falls apart. Because what we're doing in this scene is setting a baseline to how Cliff operates. And as soon as we introduce him to the acid-laced cigarette, we have a repeat of this scene, and we see how much he is impaired, and how much more of a danger it is when the Manson family rocks up. And it actually gives you dread, because you're like, oh no, we don't have the guy who went toe-to-toe with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, straight up.
So if this scene isn't there, then we have nothing to compare to what is he going to be like when he's high. Because then it's just like, oh, he can take it, no problem.
I don't know, because... Wait, okay, hold on, I'm confused. So if they didn't have the scene where he went back home to feed Brandy...
You're a fine girl.
Then the scene where Brandy kills everybody wouldn't make sense?
Well, so what I think I know what you're saying. If he didn't go back home and do the regular day of I'm making mac and cheese and now I'm feeding my dog and everything's working.
Oh, okay.
When he's high and he's like, oh, whoa, let me taste this and all this shit. You're like, okay, you are inebriated and you want the guy who can kick ass when these guys come up. And it just builds suspense.
Okay,
right?
okay. Now
I was like, am I right or am I not?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And again, I think the whole crux of this movie does rest on this one scene. Because I think all rising tension is just gone. Yeah. No, people at home, you can agree or disagree with that. That's just how I view it.
I think there's a really important line in here, and it's when they see Roman Polanski and Leo's character Rick Dalton starts like getting more pep in his step. He's like, I'm one pool party away from being in a movie directed by
baby.
Yeah, and then he says, this is why you always buy a house in town. You know, when you start making money, that means you fucking live here. You live here. You're not just staying. You live here, and you see what happens. Like the difference of living in LA, and then it's like, whoa, that's freaky. Like, you know what I mean? You can see it. You can see it right from the beginning. That we're living in this place. It's always summer. It's always sunny, and fucking murder and mayhem is just around the corner, a couple months away. And then at the end, you hear him. When he comes back from Italy, it's totally flipped, and it's like, no, actually, I'm gonna go buy a condo at
Lake
Toffoli or something.
Toffoli,
yeah, Toffoli Lake or whatever.
Yeah, Toffoli Lake, yeah.
Like just the complete and utter shift that happened. The complete shift. The complete and utter shift that happens throughout this movie, right?
Yeah.
And how it's changed to I'd rather have the condo and be safe than stay in a house in town and freaking have that shit happen.
Little did he know that night, or not that night, but the night he came back.
I would also like to point out, just from this conversation, is you can't talk about moments in this movie without incorporating the movie as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it just shows how good a job everyone working on this picture has done, because, again, like I said, not a single moment is wasted, because it all incorporates into everything else. Everything has a parallel, everything has a payoff, everything has a setup, and everything is needed.
Mm-hmm. So there was an interview that I was watching with Kurt Russell, and he said he's like within the first 5 pages. Said the web that Quentin weaves when he starts writing is unbelievable. So it's unlike anything.
I need to just start reading his screenplays and how he writes.
Honestly, I was thinking that too, because it's just like I wonder what he puts in it to, you know what I mean? Like what happens when you're sitting down? I know he writes them by hand before like typing them up and stuff, but I'm like, what happens from ink to frame? You know what I mean? And what happens? What's in between that for him? You know, this is right when we also get Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski going to the Playboy Mansion, right? So the jacket that she's wearing in that scene, it's a snakeskin jacket. She wore it to the premiere of Rosemary's Baby, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Quentin Tarantino was like huge that he wanted that jacket. He wanted that jacket. He's a huge fan of Rosemary's Baby, and he was like, I want that snakeskin jacket. So they had to make it to fit Margot Robbie, because you just can't find that stuff. I think it was a special jacket made for Sharon Tate, something like that. So yeah, but they end up going there, and we meet more people in Hollywood.
Yeah,
but
I think one thing that Tarantino was also able to do with Damian Lewis playing Steve McQueen is he made smoking look cool again. The way he just like almost palms a cigarette as he smokes and just takes a drag and, yeah, I never had a chance. I'm like, how in 2019 can you make smoking look cool again?
Here's the problem for me, right? As much as smoking is bad for you, it will never look fucking uncool. Unfortunately. That's the fucking brass tacks of it all. As bad as you know somebody's smoking, and it's like, and I know why it's gonna go, no, I don't find it cool. I know he's gonna do that.
Not that.
But come on, it has been embedded in cool for so long. If you smoke, you're a bad boy.
I don't know.
Why?
It's depending on who it is. I see people who smoke. It's like, you made that so much more uncool. There are people, I won't say names, but we all know who I'm thinking of.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, but then you go like.
But then when you see
it's just so embedded in the culture of like, it's cool. Like fucking, we're talking about old movies like fucking James Dean lighting a dart in that red windbreaker. Like that defined an era. Like, cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just been embedded in time. But I know what you mean. Where it's like, right now, it's like, okay, if you smoke, like, come on, we know what happens.
Yeah. But also like to parallel how Damian Lewis was directed to smoke that cigarette to how DiCaprio was, because he was a fucking mess. It was like
just hawking loogies all over his set, man. Oh my god!
And even with that tiny detail, we see the golden boy versus the like guy we're trying to push away.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, this is why he's still in Hollywood. Guy can't even handle his smoke. Like,
I don't know why it's so weird to me in this scene, but he's pointing at Jay Sebring and Roman Polanski, and then he finally points at Sharon Tate, and he's like, and those two came back. And then he makes a 3 with his hand and slaps his shoulder.
3 times or whatever, right? It is like...
I've never seen anybody do that other than in this movie.
That's probably just, I don't know. The 3 of them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know either.
I'm assuming it means like the 3 of them are like...
Yeah, but I've never seen anybody go like this.
Dramatic effect.
Okay. Thanks for breaking it down for me.
Hey, no worries, man. That's one here.
Is it a Steve McQueen thing that he's done in movies?
I don't know. You know what? It probably has. Maybe.
Playing the piano on his
Let's
chest.
watch some Steve McQueen movies. I've not seen a single one.
I'm down. I've got Great Escape on my laptop.
Ooh.
What a picture.
Almost
What a picture.
Almost a Rick Dalton.
Almost
picture.
a Rick Dalton.
For a second. And it was taken away, and then Timothy Oliphant asks him about it. Breaks his heart.
Having a little snack break, guys. Oh, you're down here so it doesn't pick up.
Alright. So then we have the end of the first day. Going straight into the next day. We have Cliff driving Rick to work. And I think this, for the most part, we can kind of skip over and go into Cliff fixing the antenna, reveal of the flamethrower, and then he has a flashback to why Kurt Russell doesn't like him. No, I because he killed his wife. His wife doesn't like him.
No proof. He didn't see the body. He didn't seem true. He didn't seem true. These are lies. Lying. Come on.
But one question I have for you both,
All right.
and it's probably the most controversial thing about this movie. What do you think about the way Bruce Lee was portrayed?
We're talking about this.
Like, do you have any issues with it, or do you think it's
I can't give my 2 cents because honestly, I just don't know. I don't know enough of what Bruce Lee was probably, what he was like, or even how the portrayal was like. I can't even say, I thought they did it justice. I don't think Quinn would have. I don't think people are saying, oh, he was making fun of him. I don't think, no, he didn't at all. But I don't know. Fuck, who knows?
I get where people are coming from. Bruce Lee is a huge person that people flock to. He was huge because it was just a zeitgeist moment where he was right person, right time, with what he was doing was just right. And he's become a figure that a lot of people look up to. And whenever you start fucking around with a figure that people really look up to, you're going to have people who like it, and you're going to have people who dislike it. And that's just what it is. That's brass tacks. But I don't know. I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie. I've never been a big Bruce Lee fan, I guess. But it's like, I can see where people are coming from with the sense that it's like, you feel that he's making fun of him, but also at the same time, have you done the research? That's the question I really want to ask. If you're going to bring these things up, did you do the research? Did he actually say that he was better than Muhammad Ali? Do you know that he didn't say that, or have you heard that he said that?
Yeah.
Because Quentin he read the book and he looked into it and he said, hey. He said that he was better than Muhammad Ali at one point. So right now he's coming at you with fact. So you got to find something else to counteract the fact that he has.
Because again, going to that, it was family members and like friends of him were saying he was much more humble than the way he was portrayed.
And that's where it gets
dicey.
That's where it gets dicey because it's family members. It's like, no wonder they're like, well, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because they knew Bruce Lee in a different way than everybody else, right?
However, to Tarantino's point, he wasn't trying to recreate Bruce Lee as a person. He was trying to recreate Bruce Lee as he was in Hollywood, i.e. how he was in his movies, how he was in Green Hornet. He was this strong figure. He was this badass karate master. And I think just the way he was set up in that scene, you needed him to be a bit boisterous if we were to test the skills of Cliff.
Mm-hmm. If you want to build the character of Cliff, then he has to be more... Yeah.
And again, it's nothing to harm Bruce Lee or anything like that.
No.
It's also how Tarantino remembered him on TV. It's like, I remember him being this fucking crazy martial artist. I remember him being this because that's what I saw as he was, and it's more of who he was on TV than who he was in real life.
Yeah.
And I guess when you're doing a fairy tale biopic of what could have been, that's when things can start getting a bit dicey.
Yeah, and we're also taking leaps with history here. We're taking huge leaps of stories that have been of history.
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah. You know what? It propels the plot. And do I think that the family members have a right to be a little pissed off? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, fuck, if you're pissed off, it's justified. But
Because one thing I would like to say is, you have your stunt man who's served in the army. People don't like him, but he's supposed to be your hero. Now, how are you going to test his skills? Who is going to be his knight trainer? Who's going to be his Jedi? Who's going to be his test of strength? Who else is there in Hollywood in 1969?
Claude Van Damme? I don't know.
I think he's 80s and 90s.
Chuck Norris.
Actually, he was in
Yeah, Chuck
Bruce
Norris
Lee.
was around the same time.
I forget what movie he was in with him. It's 69. Who's your bad?
Who's like the top of the food chain?
Queen.
But like just for fighting, just for
Probably
pure skill.
Probably Bruce Lee and Chuck
Yeah.
Norris.
Like there's no one else you can really go to.
I know Chuck Norris is the right one, if that's even right. Smart. Let's look it up.
He was in a movie with Bruce Lee.
Yeah. What I'm just getting at is, if you're trying to set up this guy, there's no one else you can really put him up against.
Yeah, he's the cream of the crop.
Yeah. Because if you don't have that, you get to the end of him taking out the hippies.
The Way of the Dragon.
You're just gonna question everything else before us. Like, no way could he do that. No way could he do that. But to catch a flying jump kick from Bruce Lee and whip him into Kurt Russell's wife's car.
Hey man, let's go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess in that sense too. It's like who is there that's the cream of the crop that you can put your fictional character up against to prove that he is the toughest? Who, like you said, who else is there?
I'm not even Chuck Norris because he was more of the 70s.
70s into the 80s.
Like he did one like the Wrecking Crew in '68, but so far everything else is just like 70s to now.
And you can see even in some of the scenes he also helped train Sharon Tate for her movies, and he also was training Jay Sebring too. Like, so I don't know. It's one of those things where I wish we got a little more of the character.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a different side of the character, but I don't see. Here's the thing, I don't know. I've never seen a Bruce Lee movie. I've never even really seen an interview with the guy, but I remember Quentin saying in an interview that he read a book and he said, like, I forget where it was. Maybe it was like Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
Where he said that he had read a book about Bruce Lee's life. I don't know if that's right or not. Maybe just cut my opinion right out. Honestly. Because I don't know.
I mean, I don't think we come up with a definitive answer whether it was right or not. We're just throwing out different speculations on why it was there, why it shouldn't have been there, and why it should be there. And then after that, we do get Cliff Booth on the boat with his wife.
You don't see the death, bro. You don't see the death. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, yeah, you don't see the death.
No, it's applied. Yeah, he has a point right at her, and
Yeah.
like his hands on the trigger, but you can't tell. No, it could have been a misfire.
Because then you also hear a wave hitting the ship at the exact same point, so you don't know if that knocked him.
Yeah, if that knocked her, knocked him to shoot.
Here's my question. Do you think he's taken inspiration from Natalie Wood? That whole Natalie Wood situation?
I have no idea what to talk about Natalie Wood.
You don't know who Natalie Wood is?
No.
No.
She's in West Side Story. She's Maria, and she's also in Rebel Without a Cause. She had fallen off a ship. Christopher Walken was on it.
Oh!
And
you told me this,
I think her husband, Robert Wagner. If I'm wrong about the name, I apologize. But there was a lot of people who speculated that her husband pushed her over the edge because she was deathly afraid of water. But they're saying that she had jumped in. For some reason, she was inebriated. But they think that her and Christopher Walken had just finished working on a movie. And her and Christopher Walken were getting a little close. Robert didn't like that too much and pushed her over the edge. This is just all speculation. There's no, there hasn't been any real proof put to the matter, but there was a lot of speculation in that. I was just wondering if maybe he took a little slice of that story and threw it into the Cliff Booth.
I mean, it's possible.
Honestly, because I know, and I said it. I wrote a note about it. You could devote your entire fucking life trying to find the references in this movie.
Yeah.
Your entire life of pop culture references that he has thrown in this movie. In the background, you could look at fucking transport truck names. Like the names on the side of the trailers and try to...
The movies that are playing in the different movie houses at the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I know we were talking about James Dean. There's a huge mural of Giant right behind the Manson girls as they're singing the Manson song. Like, there's just so much pop culture of the time period and movies and music. It really is. You'd have to devote your life to trying to decode everything in this movie.
And then right after this little flashback, we see Cliff Booth on the roof, finishes work, sees a van coming up, and we hear Hungry playing by Paul Revere as Charles Manson comes out and heads up to the Polanski house.
Hungry for them good times, baby. Before we get copyrighted, I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah. If we haven't already been copyrighted for branding.
But this is riding in an ice cream truck.
He's a sweet guy.
You know what? Here's the thing that I realized. Like, this didn't actually happen in real life. He knew that Terry Melcher wasn't there. He just knew that whoever was renting it from Terry Melcher was rich and had power. And that's why he targeted that house. He didn't know that the Polanski and Sharon Tate were staying there. He just knew whoever was renting had to be rich. So he knew that Terry wasn't there. And we'll get into Terry Melcher later on in this podcast.
Right.
But
yeah, that's it. We can rush through the rest of this because we get to Rick Dalton on set.
Caleb Dakota.
It's Caleb Dakota.
Dakota.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced Dakota.
It's not.
Oh.
I just want to say this too about that whole thing. That little girl could fucking act.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she is much better than anyone who went to VFS. Like any of us, any of what VFS. Like I'm not talking shit about VFS. Just like she's 8, she can hold the scene better than any of us.
Yeah.
And we paid thousands of dollars to go to a school. Well, she probably was just like, hey, we need a young girl. And I'm like, hey, you want to be in this movie? Sure.
Pretty sure it wasn't that easy.
You never know. Oh, you know, you weren't there.
Same with you.
Exactly, so I might have been. I'm just putting my fucking piece of the pod in.
Yeah, you want to be in the Tarantino movie? Yeah. All right. See you
No, but it's
Tuesday.
like a casting, like a casting call. And then she just went. Who knows? I'm done talking.
But like, it is very rare to get not only a good child actor, but also get a child actor who can hold their own against Leo. Because that's just a different level.
I'd shit my pants. I think I'd shit and puke. I'd shit, puke, and piss at the same time. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the podcast.
Not that.
Why? What would you do if you met Leo?
Not that. You're like, hi, my name's Leo. Not that. And then just leave. And you're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Not that Leo.
And then he's like, actually, we're gonna do a George Lucas. We're gonna superimpose your face over the little girl's face, and you are now Trudy Frazier. What do you say?
Hey, baby. That's what I'd say.
Fair enough, bro.
I think that's the right accent for that time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What is it? The 80s?
I think it's actually the 20s. I don't know though.
Oh, so it's a little more grotesque.
Can I get you doing that one more time?
Like, hey, Leo, baby.
Give me a week with that.
Oh my god. But this is where, we figure out that this girl is a serious fucking actor.
And it's...
It blows him away, too. Like, just like, I think it's his character. Like, I think, also probably him.
Probably too. In real life.
Was like, it's like, aren't you eating? I'm not eating. It's like, why? The scene's next, and I don't want to be sluggish. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm definitely eating snacks on set.
I'm not. I can't. I wouldn't be able to.
I need to take a quick leak, so I'm going to leave you two with this thought. After watching the scene with Mary Bella and Rick Dalton, I thought it showed the turn of the acting styles from the very standard way of doing it to the more method version. How do you think that was taken? I'm going to take a leak.
How do you think it was shown?
Yeah, how do you think it was shown? Do you think they could have done it? Was it too on the nose? Was it... Take it away. I need Pete.
You want me to go?
Yeah, exactly. So super confused on the question.
I think the way they showed it is really
What scene?
when
When he
he's
improv?
sitting down with her. And
When he put the improv, it's like, like you bucking Bronco or whatever, and that
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Oh.
that one where he's like evil, sexy Hamlet. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it really shows just like Tarantino really said it in the best. He said, throughout the 50s and earlier on, it was a bunch of guys who, sat around running pocket combs through their pompadours. And really back then, it wasn't, it was acting, but it was also trying to charm their way into your home every Monday or Tuesday to watch their show, And then you see in this where they're talking about, putting a bunch of hair on them and, a mustache and, a hat and everything and really changing it up. And I think it really shows the change in society of how we now look at actors. We now we watch old performances and go, oh my God, look at that. But, back then, that was just a regular, and then right at the turn, I think it showed it perfectly with, the improv, and I know that he was listening to it there, and then he shuts it off. And it's like, they said that they wanted it to be like the fight at the OK Corral, but the fight was against himself. And you can see it, because if you guys are actors, when it's on, it's on. And, nothing can stray you. You're on. And I think they played that perfectly with how it was all set up. Because you can tell when he's on, he's on. I don't know. Other than that. I mean, the scene to me plays perfectly, I think. It shows perfectly the change. I think it's him realizing that something needs to change and talking to that little girl, realizing, holy shit, there's something in the wind that is changing what I've always known.
So make sure the wind in your leg. I'll stretching out my leg.
Not this.
But also in here, there's just did you notice the weird cuts with Timothy Oliphant and Leo here? There's just weird
Yeah,
cuts.
it's weird. Yeah, because when he first goes talks to him, right? He's talking, his hat's on, he takes his hat off, yada yada, then click, hats on, talk, click, and it's like a completely different conversations.
I have multiple thoughts about what that was trying to be. It's either passage of time and just trying to get on, and just Rick being uncomfortable because this guy's gushing, my career's dead, or it was a homage to movies from the 60s where it's like, where you're cutting two different pieces together, where it's like, this doesn't fit with that, but we got to go with this take, and everything's just completely different, like costumes and stuff like that. It could also be that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought it was just them using every bit of film they had, because they were filming it on 35 mil, I think.
Yeah, they were filming on 35, 16, and Super 8.
Yeah, because Super 8's when he's in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
16 millimeters when they were doing all the filming of the TV shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't shoot on 70 millimeter because they were going to do it for that big sequence between like Tim Phillip and Leo when they're actually filming the show. But because Tarantino wanted zooms, they couldn't do it because you can't do that on 70 millimeter or 65 millimeter.
Yeah. It's all that like technical stuff where I get lost and all that, but I'd love to learn. I think it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And we also get like this cut of Leo in The Great Escape, like and he's there.
That was really well done.
It was like eerie, man. It was really cool.
Yeah. What? I'm just listening.
I feel bad because
You're going full detail. I don't know what I can't go in detail with that shit. I'm not smart.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the dumb one who people like.
thanks, man. Ow. It's like yeah. I'm the one that they like. You two?
You're too bold.
How about this?
Not it.
You two?
You two? Go fuck yourselves.
Oh no! It's just like, hey, these two, they know their shit, but they're little. No, I kind of come in like, hey, doggy. Sorry, guys. I'll
From this point on, we'll turn the podcast over to Wyatt. He can take it from here.
Yeah. So we are now done with him on set of what was it called again? See, I just don't like. I still my brain just doesn't fucking work like your guys's. I don't retain information.
Well, neither does mine now. I'm just reading straight from my laptop.
So, anyways, let's talk about what we all want to talk about, and that is what I'm saying. How Cliff Booth made some crackhead fix his tire, his boss's tire.
Have we got to the bit? Yeah, have we talked about that?
No, that's in that what we were talking about too. He fucked up his lines. He was doing what you were doing like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my fucking god!
God, you lived that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you lived that.
Talk about a depiction of a fucking actor in this scene, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, he took him
Really?
what 10 hours
It took me
to do 2
fucking
scenes.
10 hours to do 2 scenes. It literally verbatim the lines. I'm pretty sure I said it. It's like, you knew the fucking lines, and then you made it look like you didn't know the fucking lines.
Honestly,
Dude,
that was him.
I lived that for fucking 8 hours.
Since from 3 p.m. till about 11:30 p.m.
I
Damn.
lived that scene.
Yeah,
And then finally I got the take. I almost freaking cried.
he was shaking. He was like his adrenaline was just.
And then we watched the scene, and he's like, "Give me sexy Hamlet," and he's sitting there, and he's like,
Smoldering, more smoldering.
and I'm like, "Fuck, if that was me, I'd be shaking right now." Like, finally got it. Also, I chugged like a full black coffee. It was like, God. Honestly, I think I had the conversation like, if you don't get these fucking lines right, I'm blowing your head off in the fucking bathtub.
Because I've 100% had those moments.
Oh.
Why have you had those moments where you're just completely?
What the? Not just with acting, anything. And it could be from wanting to ask out a girl to even just talking to a fucking female, and then to an audition where it's like fuck, like you screw up, and no, I think everyone's had this.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and especially to the point where you do talk to yourself like, if you don't fucking this right, I'm blowing your fucking head off.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that you're a successful actor until you have a moment like that.
Honestly.
Well.
Because you've never been to the deep pits of hell.
Yeah.
Because there's moments when you look at yourself, you're like, I'm fucking disgusted in you right now. And you look at yourself and you're like, how the hell did you get here, you foul beast? And then like you finally do it, you're like, God damn, you kind of. Hey, that was a good job.
Right?
Hey, you look good, man. You know what? Dust yourself off. Go grab a Pepsi Zero and calm down.
So the actor who plays good old Charles Manson, you know, he also plays Charles Manson in Manhunter.
Yes.
Saying it's kind of fucking
like
it's not kind of
it's a gift and a curse.
yeah, right. It's like, hey, we need to talk to Manson. Let's get I forget his name. You have it. He's Australian, and then you know he's like, he's fucking probably in fucking like Sydney. Like, fuck again, son of a bitch.
Damon Harriman.
Not Australian. He's Australian a little bit. Right, he can't right here. So he's like, fuck's sake. Yeah, all right, we'll do it again. If Hugh Jackman can play Wolverine, I can play, Manson, I guess.
He's actually a handsome chap without the fucking beard and long hair.
Right?
Oh my god. Like, it's such a gift and a curse. Because you're like, guys, come check out the new Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm in it. Who do you play?
Charles Manson. Who's that?
Who?
Charles Manson. Who? Charles who? Charles
Manson.
Like the Charles Manson?
Hey, yeah. You know, the guy.
Where do I sign?
He's like, so we want you to play Charles Manson. Here's a contract.
And then you get a phone call from David Fincher that moment. Goes, hey, yeah, so doing a new show, Mindhunter. Got the perfect role for you.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, so we're doing a whole show about serial killers, and we're going inside their mind, doing interviews and stuff like that. It's based on 2 actual FBI detectives. We think it'd be perfect for this role.
Great. What is it? Is it one of the detectives?
It's Charles Manson.
Who?
Oh, it's a very famous guy, a real life guy, Charles Manson.
Who?
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Well, take the Sheen
Yeah.
and replace it with Manson.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, no, I'll sign on right now.
Not nuts.
Oh my god, fuck. I couldn't.
Be right back to quick phone call missed. You gotta continue talking.
So we'll wait for Wyatt to come back, because I feel like he really wants to talk about the ranch scene with Cliff Booth. So we wait for him to come back.
So double check. It's not. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
So yeah, I think another thing we can quickly dive into is going back to the Mary Bella bit where he's talking about the book. The first time watching this movie, I thought a little on the nose. The book that Rick's reading. It was like, oh, that's a very clear parallel. Wink and a nudge. Rewatching it, I'm like, oh no, this is supposed to be on the nose because he only now is picking up that that's his life.
And he's only halfway through.
Yeah, and he's only halfway through, so he's been reading it for a while. And he's just getting to that point, like, oh, this is like his point of no return type thing. Now he's finally seeing what his life is going through now.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Oh, it must be a really good book if you're crying. You've been living in about 15 years. Oh, man. Oh, there's... I'm sorry, but there is a certain caliber of actor. And it's... Leo is the top. He's top caliber as far as I'm concerned, man. Yeah. The character in this film that he is playing is so... well-rounded.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's the type of stuff that you can't even comprehend. Like even we talk about Tarantino and making the movie, and it's like, yeah, every set, you look at, when they're in the bar and it's like salt and pepper shakers. He probably did research into that bar because I think it is a very famous LA spot. In like the history of LA, I think that is a very, very historic bar. But he does research into that. But it's like also the little nuances, and I can't help but wonder if Leo does the same thing, because I know De Niro does the same thing, and I know De Niro is one of Leo's guys. He loves De Niro. But I know De Niro is a huge stickler for how does my character hold his lighter while he's lighting his cigarette? I know for Goodfellas, he was asking a shitload of questions about, like, how does my character, hit a glass ketchup bottle? Does he just shake it? Does he tap the top? Does he smack the bottom? All that stuff. So I don't know if maybe Leo's doing that during this, but either way, man, he's fucking putting on a show this entire movie as far as I'm concerned. You want a leading man, just fucking look to him and try to take notes.
Because, again, this is nothing against Leo or anything like that, but for most of his movies I watch, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Leo. Mm-hmm. It's Leo, yada, 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 and that's why I'm kind of like in and out for most of his movies. But for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he really kicks it up a gear. Mm-hmm. Like, he fully disappears, not just as Rick Dalton, but also as all the characters in the stuff he's playing, which is very rare to see. And being a guy, being another guy, being another guy.
It's insane.
And I think in doing that, the exact same has to go for Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, Brad Pitt, again, putting on a fucking show in this movie. I like Wyatt was saying earlier. Not a huge big Brad Pitt fan.
Pitt.
Brad Pitt. I'm not a huge Brad Pitt fan. No, I'm not a huge Brad Pitt fan until I saw this movie. And he is. I can see why Wyatt loves Brad Pitt in this movie so much. He's putting on a show and he's fucking badass in this movie.
Yeah, right, he is.
Okay, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
But
So we're talking about now. Where are we at?
We're at where you left off. Your boy.
Ooh, which one?
we're going to we're gonna go to Spawn Ranch.
Oh, Spawn Ranch. Spawn Ranch. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Cliff Booth, look at the moccasin he's wearing walking around. That's called back problems.
Yeah, honestly, there's no support. That you're basically to do. Let's go barefoot.
Yeah, honestly, at that point, like it's just like I'm looking at him and I'm like, dude,
They don't look comfy.
like how good does your bed feel when you lie down after walking around in those things every day?
I don't think it's a bed. I think it's sleep on the chair. The recliner. But how good is that recliner sound? Throw in your little TV, drink your beer, eat your macaroni, have your dog. No pooch. No brandy action.
Look at the photos, trying to see the shoes.
It's
like
it's near the beginning when they both walk out. I think to go to the bar. It's like that.
That's his shoe.
Honestly, like that.
No
thin.
word of a lie. That's
And
pretty
like
much
bent.
his shoe.
It's weird.
It's like a pair of moccasins.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
moccasin, right? Because I low key kind of wanted to get a pair after the movie.
This
Because I'm a stud.
this scene where he's going to Spawn Ranch.
It's dope.
The set design is astronomically wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the set design for Spawn Ranch is amazing. And like you were saying earlier on, with people who have a problem with this scene, I think Wyatt and I were talking about it earlier today. There is a split-second moment where you think Brad Pitt is going to die in this movie.
Oh yeah, when he goes into the room.
It is just masterful, like, building of suspense.
Yeah.
Like, the music in it is straight out of that time period.
Yep.
Like, that, like, eerie walking through, like... I just think that scene... Without that scene... I don't know. Like,
There would be no danger for the end.
Yeah, there's nothing there where, like, he drops her off and see you later. But to actually sit there and see it and like have him walking around and seeing how manipulative they were to George Spawn and all the shit that was going on. Seeing all the shit that was going on there. Yeah.
She's a dick. She is. Asshole. She was a crazy one. Okay, we saw like an actual the real Squeaky.
Oh, yeah.
She's still in love with
Manson. She's still in love with him.
Really?
Still thinks he did nothing wrong. But
I mean, he technically didn't kill anyone.
Honestly.
yeah, but like, come on.
Not to say.
It's like
Not that he did.
it's like saying butter doesn't get you fat. Like, go on, it does, but like, it tastes good, but it does.
Yeah.
It's not even remotely close.
Manson kills people, but he tastes good.
Sorry. Army Hammer? No, it's like, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Army Hammer's on the podcast. Ow, fuck Army. Fucking took a bite of it.
I just want a little taste.
Yeah.
Ow, fuck, dude. I'm getting new bandage.
Yeah, but except for short thought, who's his name? Georgie? George, right?
George
I
Bond.
for sure thought he was dead. When we first saw him,
Yeah.
like, oh, like, he's dead. And then you see him roll up, like, oh, he dead. Oh, they're gonna get him. They didn't. They tried. And then one guy, gonna fix that? No. And then just like one punch, he goes flying.
Yeah.
I want that power. It's that right hook, and then the girls, like, you can move anymore. I'll beat, I'll fucking knock all his teeth out.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm so sorry.
I love you.
And he's like, fuck you guys. There's like 20 of them.
Yeah.
One of this dude, like, let's face it, he has a tire iron in his hand. He would fucking.
I love, again, making smoking look fucking cool in this movie. He's just like this. So I'm at boss's car, and he just sticks the cigarette in his mouth. It's like, fuck. Just
It's my boss guy, yeah. Just
fucking sick.
straight up was just like, yeah, very slides, no care in the world. It's like, you fix that. No.
Fuck you.
And then, can I get a towel first? Nope. Can I get a right to clean my face? Nope.
Meanwhile, Rick Dalton's... While Cliff Booth is out at one of the most notorious cult families in the world, kicking the shit out of one of them, Rick Dalton's in his trailer crying about forgetting lines. Kicking the shit out of his trailer. It's like...
Yeah, that trailer got beating.
The complete two fucking opposites of like, I'm having a hard day. Booth's like, dude, like,
Same with
fucking
me.
come over here for an hour.
Because again, it goes right back to the core themes of the three main plays of this. You got Margot Robbie in the theatre watching one of her films, the up-and-coming star, loving it. Rick Dalton, the washed-up has-been freaking out, and then Cliff Booth's like, boss his car, this is my day job, fix it.
Honestly, just going through every day. He's like, fuck, dude.
Come on, man.
Don't make me.
It's Monday.
Don't make me do what I did to my wife.
Yeah. Go on.
Killed her. I killed her. Hi, my name's Cliff Booth. I'm a killer.
You wouldn't like it. But,
You wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Rick Dalton's a drunk, though, eh? It's like, you gotta quit drinking, continues drinking. Oh, shit, throws out his flask. Like, come on, dude. Have some better restraint.
We should have made whiskey sours.
I would, but I just don't have any of the items other than eggs at my house.
Who wants to have eggs? Just
2 eggs.
drinking raw eggs. Like, I'm Rick Dalton.
I don't go because it's whiskey. Yeah, it's whiskey, simple syrup, egg whites,
Lime juice.
and I think lime juice or lemon juice. One of the two.
I think it's lime.
A citrusy juice. Let's look it up.
Orange juice.
No.
Damn it.
And then a cherry.
Fuck.
And then it's very simple to make though.
And it's really fucking good.
I know.
Because were you around when I was making them?
Probably.
So I did a carbonara because I used all the
Yeah.
and with the egg whites I did the whiskey sours.
Whiskey sour. They're so good. I remember I was at Joe Forte's. I had like 7 of them. Was I angry? No. Was I happy? Yeah. Bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, an orange wheel for serving, and
I was right with the orange.
We said orange juice, so
Yeah.
you were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I like how it says egg whites are optional. It's like, no, you kind of need it.
What makes it frothy, right? But I think
Yeah.
it's, but do people, I can see why it's like, oh, I don't want to have any egg white, raw egg white. It's like, yeah, I know, but it's like,
I mean, once you mix it up, it cooks it kind of.
I don't know if it cooks it.
Well, it like, it's not raw.
The liquor probably does
Yeah.
some, probably like, marinates it. I don't know. But anyways, back to the conversation.
Once we get out of Spawn Ranch, we see it's they're all leaving the set of Lancer. And we see Timothy Oliphant hopping on a Triumph, and it literally looks time period like he looks like Bobby V in Night Has 1,000 Eyes, the music video, because that as soon as I saw it, that's exactly what it looked like to me. But and then we get home and they're watching the FBI episode.
Yeah.
The all the streets are silent, is what it's called, and they're talking about it, and it's like,
no, we're done with that shotgun.
It just shows that this isn't just a working relationship. This is this is a brotherly, like, Brad Pitt's genuinely excited for Leo's character. Like, he is genuinely excited to sit down with him and watch this because you know, I think it's really cool. Like, it's a really cool dynamic of you don't see that a lot in Hollywood anymore, but back then
that was the thing. You would stick with your stuntman. That would be your guy.
Yeah, I think that scene to me really encapsulates the brotherly atmosphere that these two characters are
kind of have. Yeah, they're brothers, right?
They're ride or die.
Yeah,
literally.
Oh yeah,
literally. And then watching the TV show, I realized, like, how hard is it to costume this movie? You have to do like a costume for Rick Dalton himself, and then like over a couple, you know, a day or two, plus all the costumes he's wearing and the multiple things that you've already filmed, and then you have to like costume everybody else and everything. I'm like, God, the costuming for this movie must have been just
harder than hell.
Oh my God.
Also the wigs in this movie. Because Bruce Lee thing, when you see Brad Pitt's wig and he takes off, like, that was a wig?
Yeah, I completely forget sometimes, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Today. Like, oh shit. Yeah, 'cause I'm like, why is his hair so weird? Whatever. Oh, it's a wig, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Not rapscallion.
But then we get 6 months later.
Yeah.
Then we get to him in Italy. Making the Italian pictures.
No one to make no stupid Italian films.
Oh, we start winning fights. But we
Then you meet his love of his life. Francesca, Italian last name. Punesca, I don't know.
Punesca.
I could say that because I'm Italian.
And Rick Dalton's hair has changed.
His fucking face has changed. He's gone fat.
What did they say? 15
pounds.
Yeah.
In the 6 months he was there.
Like, I think that just really shows the change in him. Like running. I don't know if it was like. I don't know for sure where the motivation is for the change, but for me it shows the change of Rick is now ready. He's evolved from the old style of thinking of Hollywood doesn't want me to, hey, I'm gonna make Hollywood want me. Yeah. And that's the whole thing for the next 6 months is him going and finding work and then coming back, and he's completely changed. He's now equipped to start in this era, this new era of acting in this new Hollywood.
I thought he was just ready to be like done. Okay, you know what? It's the end of the Dalton show.
I mean, it could be both. To be honest, he's ready to like.
Go ahead, he's ready
get
to
ready
move
for Hollywood.
But you know when he was in Spain still with, we just basically told with the guy, you know, I can't hire you, I can't have you around anymore, I can't afford you. So like, you know, I think also like him firing basically Cliff. I think that was like, or maybe it was just a chapter of his life. It's like, hey, you know what, we had a good run, but now it's time to be gone. Or it's like, hey, you know, we had a good run, I'm now out of work when I go back because it's been 6 months. I don't do these movies anymore. Who knows? That's a nice take on it.
Yeah, because for me it's like
it's the right one.
Like he's ready for. He's ready for both. He's going down the line. He's got his wife now. He can set up a family, set up his life, but at the same time, the door is open for Hollywood to still be there. He's just riding that fine line, going, you know what, I'm going to live it for me, not for them.
He's back in LA now.
And it is the night
before.
It's
the 8th, right?
No, it's not. It's
the
day
night of the murders.
Yeah.
Because it's the 8th, but it's the early morning of the 9th. Because midnight is when they were found. Like, midnight's when they came up. When Rick Dalton sees them, it's a little after 12.
Midnight. Yeah, because they do the time stamp of like it's 8, but then it's like, oh, I like whatever it was, like 7 o'clock. Sharente and them go to the Wild Coyote.
Yeah. Like, how accurate is that to the events of?
I would say it's probably pretty accurate.
It is pretty accurate.
Okay.
They showed up around midnight in the actual murders, but
But all the stuff that Sharon Tate did beforehand, like, is that pretty?
It'd be hard because they wouldn't.
Yeah, because it was a very chill. It was a very chill day. She spent a lot of her day napping, and then they didn't because she was pregnant, right? And they didn't want to cook dinner, so they just went out to the El Coyote. Yeah, and they went and had dinner. And it was supposedly the hottest night of the year. Yeah. So it was pretty much hot. She was having, like, just
pregnancy things, women problems.
Yeah, we just wouldn't.
We do not know, so yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty much, it was a chill day until fucking midnight, and then that's when all the fucking shit happened. But yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about the El Coyote, they end up going there and having dinner, obviously, and on the way into the El Coyote, Sharon Tate looks over and goes, "What's going on at the dirty movie place?" And it's a bunch of lights. Quentin Tarantino. It used to be like an old porn
an old dirty movie place.
Yeah. And Quentin Tarantino bought it, and he owns it, and he is on the board for the movies that they play there.
Oh.
Yeah, he bought it. I forget what he called it, but it's like an old theater in Hollywood that he ended up buying and owns.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, it's totally like what would a guy who loves movies that much buy? It's like a movie theater. Yeah. But I thought that was pretty cool how he just fit it in there a little bit. Yeah.
Then they
bless you.
To me. Then they went back right after. It was what, like? Because it was
10:16 when they got back.
Right? House. And then they were playing. They were drinking a little bit more, or whatever they were, like having a good night. Like whoever was playing the piano. Mm-hmm. They were chilling. Then our boys came back home from drinking or whatever.
Yeah. And Cliff goes out to walk Brandy.
Cliff goes walk Brandy with his little acid cigarette, like completely forgot about. And then good old Francesca's passed out because of jet lag. And then Rick Dalton goes into his pool. No, mixes margaritas.
Yeah, makes margaritas.
Margaritas. Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock or something. He said, right? When it's or midnight, whenever it's late. And
it was midnight
when they get home. When he
grabbed it,
grabs the ice.
Like, at the end of the movie, he's like, I heard the muffler.
Yeah.
So I checked what time it was. It was 12 o'clock. Grabbed the margarita, walked out there. Fucking hippies.
we should drunk off my property. Oh, great. Sorry, sir. We go up here to smoke pot.
Fucking hippies coming up here to smoke pot. What the fuck are you looking at, you ginger-haired fuck?
It's so
and then
great.
they drive back down and it's like, oh my god, is that Jake Cahill? Oh my god, dude. Fuck me, man.
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all decide to park the car, make their way up.
And one of them just splits.
Honestly.
She was a smart one. Like, I'm not. Nope.
Straight up. Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Robin Hawke.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's her name.
I think that's her name. She's in Stranger Things 3. That's her name in Stranger Things 3. Like it's a sequel. It's Stranger Things Season 3. She's in that, and I think her name's Robin. That's why I thought it was Robin.
There's a brother named Blue Jay. Ethan. Ethan likes to name his sons or daughters after children.
Hawke.
Maya?
Yeah.
No, okay. Remotely close to Robin. What I thought. It's alright though.
Flower Child.
Yeah, she bails because the actual. Because I think the who she's supposed to play, I think, did something similar.
I think she's supposed to play Kasabian.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Kasabian. Let me just check real quick here. Yeah, I think she's supposed to play Linda Kasabian, who was the lookout in the actual murders and tried to distract them from murdering. But
okay.
She wasn't a part of it. She was the lookout. I think that's who she's playing. And the girl who's like, "We're in Hollywood, man," is she plays Susan Atkins. I want to say.
Yes. Susan Atkins.
And then the redhead
Katie
is Patricia Krenwinkel.
Yeah.
And obviously Charles Tex Watson.
Yeah, Charles Tex Watson. Mm-hmm. Then those go up. And then go the wrong house.
Cliff and Rick versus the fam, baby.
Oh, actually, hold on. completely. We're just gonna go back, way back for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Because we can also. It also does fit into what I'm about to talk about.
Good, everything in this movie connects.
You know when at the beginning when the Cliff drops off Rick back at home, and there's like a lines to learn, so they go pick up at 7:15, in the door, out the door into the car, right? Then he's making his drinks, and he goes to his pool. How does he not get wet? He's in the pool, he's in, it shows him on that pool floaty chair with his fucking big old fucking tanker of whiskey sour, and him doing his lines. How doesn't he get, because those things aren't, starting to talk about this, those things aren't stable. When you go in the water, it sinks a bit. How isn't he soaked? He must have fell in at least once, but he's dry as a fucking goddamn bone.
And you know he's got a little bit of a fucking bag on, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
right?
Because also you got to think, how is Leo not wet? Because he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, right? How didn't he get soaked? How didn't he fall in the pool? At all.
It's all CGI.
You know what they probably did? He probably drained the pool, sat down, got them to fill it up, so it was good. So yeah, and then Camp goes back because I think the exact same age. He doesn't get wet until fucking comes in.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyways, that's that.
So we now get to the.
We get to what if you were angry about the runtime, we get to the
best. One of the best.
If you're angry about the runtime, this totally redeems it.
Yeah. Because
this scene, there's not a fucking false beat. As soon as Cliff comes home, it's fucking hilarious.
It's like when we were watching, of course, he's higher than a fucking kite.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's completely. And he's just like, with his hand, just like,
oh.
And it's like, whoa, and then it's like, and then trying to be super quiet, but just hitting things, hits the fucking light. Oh shit, no! I'm like, oh, and then hits the thing. It's just making the most sound. It's like, yeah, that would be 100%. I'm a little bit of Cliff.
And talk about prop work from freaking Brad Pitt here, just grabbing the dog food, finding something to do with the dog food. Oh, I need a can opener.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the can opener. Whoa, look at the weird way the can opener is. Whoa, and then open it. Oh, it's hard. Opening up the dog food and then, oh, this smells pretty good. Lick all this shit and dumping it out. Just the beat by beat, thought to action, to you know what I mean, to actual physically grabbing it and having a reason. Yeah, it's on point.
Right.
Everything. It's amazing. It's textbook.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And then he has a little talk with the dog against. Hey, I don't want to. We're not having this talk right now. Right? We're going to talk to Tarantino. No whining. Still kind of nice throwback from when at the car or at the house there. Mm-hmm. Dog shuts up because Brandy knows what's up. But then she hears them.
Yeah.
That's why he's going. So he thinks it's them, but no, there's people. And then the fucking best scene, which it's like that was so fucking funny. It was like, ugh.
For those of you who don't know what Wyatt's doing, he's doing the point over the shoulder to fucking Susan Atkins.
Yeah.
Who's this chick?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But my favorite line out of this entire fucking sequence is, "Are you real? As real as a donut, motherfucker."
I thought you were going to say the other one.
With the devil?
It's what's your name again? I'm the...
I remember you. Yeah, and you. And what's your name again? I'm the devil. I'm here to do the devil's work.
Nah, I was stupider than that. It's
was it Rex?
Rex?
Get him, Tex.
So the real Tex Watson actually said the exact words. He said, "I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's business."
Oh.
That's it. That line verbatim was put into the script. He actually said that during the murders.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just gets a dog to the fucking arm.
And to the bag.
And to the leg, and to the bag. Chick gets a dog can, or a can of dog food to the fucking face. She's on the ground freaking out. Dog then goes after her.
Oh my god, it is just brutal in this house.
And then fucking Tex gets curb stomped.
Yeah.
It's like I completely forgot about.
Oh my god, it was like a scene out of Drive.
It was
insane.
Yeah, just stomped dead, and then...
It was like a Gallagher show. It was just...
Right? And then Ginger chick, she just what? Because isn't she just like? Because Francesca kind of like
runs out. No,
like,
she
tackles her or something, right?
She's like, hey, you.
Yeah,
Bam! Pops her in the face.
Yeah, hey, fuck her. What? Boom! Shields down, then goes, stabs, in the process, stabs fucking
Cliff
in the leg, and then just gets dummied for a solid 3 minutes and just smack. And then on the mantle, just boom, boom. It's like, oh my.
On the phone, fucking bang.
Like how we're talking about, you know how fun that'd be to shoot that scene? Just have a dummy.
So much fun.
Just have a dummy of a doll and say, yeah, go as hard as you humanly can.
Where do you want to hit? Brad Pitt's like, I want to smash that glass too, guys. I want to smash that shit.
I want to do all 3 of those. I want to do the mantle. And Quinn's like, hey, do the table as well. Do other shit. It's like, really? Yeah.
Tarantino's like, and I want a close-up Dutch angle of it so we can really see the blood.
And then, whatever. I'm going to call her Sadie because her name was in the thing with the big can face.
Can face.
People, her hands out, starts shooting. Fucking good old Rick Donald. Oh, what the fuck? Goes in. She falls.
I thought he was going to get electrocuted here. I thought everybody was dead.
It's a little handmade, but you're fine. It's batteries.
Yeah.
You get electrocuted.
I don't know.
It's not a toaster.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Sound off in the comments. Get electrocuted by battery radios.
And then, he just gets out and then does and then probably does, like, one of the most ultimate kills. Just gets his motherfucking flamethrower.
And the music
cues.
Oh.
And then just... Because I for sure thought, too, like, when I first saw it, when she turned around and, like, had the gun, I thought she was going to shoot the gas tank and he was going to blow up. And I was like, what?
Alternate ending.
Right? Or, like, where she still dies, but, like, they both die. And, like, maybe that... But then, no. Then...
Yeah.
Then we get a great scene afterwards. When he's getting stretchered off. And it's like, hey, go hang out with, Francesca. Come see me tomorrow. Bring bagels.
Go lie down beside that hot. Go lie down naked beside that beautiful creature. Yeah. Is what he says. And he's just fucking higher than shit. He's like, you said that he was the devil and that he was gonna do some
devil shit.
Devil shit.
Or something stupid like that.
That's not verbatim. He's just fucking...
But he still cares. Like, hey, make sure Brandy's okay. She was a little riled up. Oh, she's sleeping with Francesca. I don't think they'll ever get her back.
And this, to me, it's like... I think for me, it makes it... For one, it's a sad scene for me because I know this movie's coming to an end. Yeah. And I fucking hate that moment when I'm like, oh, I gotta leave this world. Yeah. But then I'm also like, but wait. Like, are you guys... You better go fucking see him in the hospital tomorrow, Rick.
Bring bagels.
Bring bagels.
Bring bagels.
But then we get the scene where all the cops leave.
Yeah. So it's like, there's 3 dead people. Well, we're all gone.
Oh yeah, see you later.
Yeah, we'll be back in the morning.
Oh yeah. No. Move along. You're a cop.
Knuckles. Knuckles. Don't go there. Ow.
Hey. You're a cop. Move along.
Yeah. Oh, move along.
Oh, you're a cop?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're all good. Inside jokes for the podcast. Anyway, but we get the scene where Jay Sebring comes down and talks to Rick Dalton and recognizes him that, you're from Bounty Law and all this stuff.
You're Rick Dalton, yeah.
And it's just like...
Career back up.
Yeah, and then, from the 14th to McCluskey. Yeah! He's like fucking pumped. But he's like the biggest fan. He's like...
How'd you get a flamethrower? Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, it's just in that tool shit.
So, like, is everyone okay? Well, the hippies ain't.
Yeah.
And my buddy's dog got too, and I torched the other. Torched? What do you mean torched?
I got a flamethrower in my tool shed.
Oh, my God.
From the 14th to McCluskey. Yeah. Rick Dalton, why don't you come on up? Okay. Fucking.
Give me a thumbs up. Yeah.
There we go, baby.
Hey, your wife's in there with the dog. You up here with us.
Hey, by the way, you just secured another movie.
Yeah.
Go tell Cliff Booth he's got to be out of the hospital bed by 6.
Cliff like...
And it's 5:30.
Yeah. Cliff was like, hey, I'm fine, guys.
Cliff right now is going like this.
The worst thing he got was... Oh, he got shot and stabbed.
Yeah.
He goes...
Well, the gun didn't the gun hit? Oh no, he's passed out. When
Yeah.
oh, I don't get. I thought
That actually happened too, where Tex Watson hit somebody and the gun broke in the murders too. So a lot of the shit that happened in these
Kinda
murders was very. He must have looked into it.
He probably.
Yeah.
Oh God, he had to have.
Well, he probably fucking remembers it all.
Yeah. Fuck, because he was a kid during this time in Hollywood, right? Yeah. I think personally, man, this movie. I have my last note from this movie is, let's make a fucking movie. Like
We are.
You know what I mean? Like this movie, I don't know if it's just because we're actors or if it's people in the film industry or you know anybody. Every time I see this movie, without fail, it motivates me to do something creative.
Yeah.
Whether it's sitting down and writing the movie that we're working on, or if it's coming down and sitting and doing this podcast, or going out in the YouTube channel, or whatever it is, taking photos, anything. I think this movie to me always runs back to every time I watch it. It just always does that. And this movie to me is every time they make a movie and they have every time Quentin Tarantino does a movie and he says that shot was great, let's do another one, and he goes the same time. And why? Because we love making movies. And I think this movie is a fucking testament to that entire fucking sentence.
Ooh-ah.
Ooh-ah. But that's what
With that,
I got 2 more notes on this movie.
Fucking rights. Let's hear them, baby.
One, in casting this movie, of course, Leo and Brad Pitt was his first choice. Mm-hmm. But if he couldn't get one or the other for any reason, he would have to get a completely new duo. Because the actors had to go together. If Leo couldn't do it, Brad wouldn't work. If Brad couldn't do it, Leo wouldn't work. Which I think is really interesting to go into it. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to end the talk of the movie portion with this quote from Tarantino. And he was talking about his love for movies now. Every time he goes into a subject, he just loves learning. And it's like he says, I'm going for my professorship in cinema. The day I die is the day I graduate.
Great.
Constantly learning about film, constantly taking in new inspirations. And it shows in everything he does. Honestly. He loves it.
Yeah. He's
not doing it to be one of the great directors. He's doing it because he loves movies. And in doing so, he has become one of the greats.
And I remember he said something that really struck a chord with me. If you're going to make a movie and you love the art of movies, if you really love cinema, there's no way that you can make a bad movie. There's no way.
Because on that, even quote-unquote bad movies, like The Room, The Samurai Cop, stuff like that, even though they are textbook bad, you always get a good time out of watching it because you can see the passion that goes behind it. And that's what's enjoyable about it. It's not the fact that it's top-tier A-class filmmaking. It's because people there are loving it. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're still talked about, other than, your average, I don't know, action movie from the mid-2000s that I can't even remember the name of. Mm-hmm. They're highly forgettable. You forget that you've watched them, yet films like The Room with Tommy Wiseau, you're like, fuck, I love that movie.
It's true, and it goes back to a line, and it fits in with anything that you want to do in life. The scene between Leonardo DiCaprio and the little girl. She looks at him and she says, greatness is what you aim for, but it's the quest to get to greatness that's what people admire.
Yeah.
And that, to me, it strive for greatness because on your way there you'll find something, you know? Shoot for the moon, land with the stars.
Yeah.
You know?
Shoot for the moon, land on Jupiter.
Shoot with the moon, get hit with a fucking UFO, and get smoked back to...
Sue the aliens, make alien bucks. Dude, you're good.
Come down, buy a shitload of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, learn about that on TikTok. What's going on, guys? Gary V.
And that has been us talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This has been Oliver.
Wyatt.
And Tucker.
See you next week.
If you enjoyed what you just saw here, more videos right here
And subscribe right there. And if we fucked up at all, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to check our social media outlets.